What's up, guys? Today I will be telling you all why, in my opinion, going in the traditional conventional route is not the play for hyper ambitious young people like yourself. And let's actually do the math. Most people never do the math. They don't actually think, hey, if I actually work this job for the next 5 years, how much will I actually have in the bank account when I'm 30 years old? So let's actually do the math real quick, really quickly. And then after that, we will discuss what, in my opinion, what are the best alternate routes that you can take instead of this conventional route. Because if this route, after I prove to you that this route is not the route that you want to take, because the math just doesn't make sense for an ambitious young person like yourself, then you will be thinking like, okay, then what is the optimal play? And so I will be giving you suggestions on what I think may be the optimal play and how I am testing that theory real time. Okay, so let's get into it, okay? Okay, so as you can see, I have created this very polished and granular model in front of your eyes. I will say this is one of my best creations. So yeah, let me just break this down for you, you very ambitious young people. So, you enter university at around 19 years old, as you can see on the left hand side. Boom, 19 years old. Okay? You graduate by 23, let's say you are the GOAT, because I know you are probably the GOAT of your intake. And so you will land a $200,000 job first year at JP Morgan, bonuses included. Let's say the next year, since you are still the GOAT, you will make $50,000 more. That is like a 25% increase. And then the next year you make 280,000, the next year you make 300,000, and then you make 500,000 for 3 years straight. Okay. And then by the time you're 30, you have roughly $3 million. And this is best, like $3 million by 30. So just ask yourself whether that is enough for you and whether your hunger is satisfied by that number and whether you think that is good enough for your life. And if yes, then okay, you can just close this video already. But I know most of you hungry motherfuckers out there, it is probably very undermining. And this is best case scenario. This is assuming that you are the GOAT of your school, you get into JP Morgan, which probably very unlikely that you will, and most likely you will be earning like $50,000 the first year. So divide that by 3, you probably get $1 million by 30. So yeah, that is the corporate route. Let me show you alternative routes. Boom! Basically, right, nowadays there's something called the internet. Okay, it's actually been here for a long ass time. Did you know that? It's a gold mine of opportunity in here. Yet, people just be like, yo, that's a cool gold mine. That's pretty cool. I can watch anime there. I usually go in the anime tunnel instead of the many other tunnels with many diamonds in there. I go in the anime tunnel. Interesting decisions. But listen, that's very normal. Okay, so let me now explain to you. I'll show you actually like the other online income making initiatives that you can take, to substitute that anime tunnel. These are the other tunnels that you can actually go into with hella diamonds in there. Okay, the first one, I know, when you hear the word dropshipping, probably like a strike on your heart that makes you immediately go and think of this shit's a scam. And because of that, 90% of people, they don't even dabber in the other tunnels because in their eyes, there's a fucking big ass scam word in front of it. In front of the tunnel, there's a big sign that says scam. but actually that scam is in your imagination. Okay, like in this role you have to try things for yourself and see whether it is actually a scam. You know? You have to actually try things first before you make a bold claim. You know? So the first thing is job shipping with AI. Let me show you. I made this store yesterday in like 30 minutes. Okay, maybe not 30 minutes, in like an hour. You know, I made this ad creative. Actually, all you do, you find a product, you create a website, you run paid ads.
Ruins the whole week.
That's it.
Turns
It's
out
just
it's not
e-com
aging
is
at
the
all.
simplest,
Your
most
cortisol
easy.
just doesn't reset like it used to.
By the way, dropshipping is just a method of fulfillment. The actual business model is called e-commerce. Amazon. Is that a scam? I bought this mouse yesterday from Amazon. It arrived. It works. You ask AI to make reels for you. Many types of ad creatives that you can make. Video reels, static, image ads, carousels.
I used to bounce back in my 20s. Now, one bad night ruins the whole week. Turns out it's not aging at all. Your cortisol just doesn't reset like it used to. These gummies bring it back down. 3 weeks in, I had a late night with friends. Used to ruin my whole week.
Obviously it can be better and I'll make it better. But that was all done by AI. Zero manual work. Another, you know ashwagandha? I'm sure you've heard of ashwagandha. Okay, next we have software application. Mobile application, web application, doesn't matter. Software is infinitely scalable. It is not like a physical retail business. There's no physical handling of inventory. There's no slowdown. Everything is instant. Scale, server cost, that's it. Zero initial startup cost, no fixed cost. Like very, very low initial startup fixed cost. Like it is so scalable just like that. And then there's obviously, this is the development side. It's very easy to make software with AI assisted coding. But now there's distribution, that's the real, like the actual hard part. Yeah, so distribution is the hard part. Within all these online income initiatives, there's always a product or service that you make, that you develop the development phase, and then there's a distribution growth phase, how you actually market your product. That's the other phase, right? So dropshipping was paid ads. You effectively hire Meta, like the algorithm of TikTok, the algorithm of Instagram, of YouTube. These platforms, they have hella data on all the billions of users on their platforms. They have all the data on them. They know their user demographics. They know which users are more likely to click on your ad. So because they have all the data, right? So you're paying for them to show your ad that shows a physical good. In the previous dropshipping, it's a physical good to users who are very likely to buy it. And these are billion-dollar companies. They know, they have good algos that you are paying for to help you. With software, usually the growth channels are organic. So usually you hire people to talk about your application, because unlike the previous like dropshipping, e-com, physical product sales, where you can find a lot of similar products and you can just like stitch the clips together, like how I did just now, and use like an AI voice overlay. But software most of the time is very unique. So there'll literally be zero very similar looking UIs. Like it's very obvious. So like you cannot do that. You have to either make it yourself or you hire people to use your ad, and you give them like an SOP, like, hey, here's the viral formatting of real narrative structure that usually does well. Like these are the features that I feel as though, because I'm the developer, users will like the most. So you should suggest these features. These are the things that you should say to capture user attention, whatever. But yeah, you have to have that viral sense. So it requires a little bit more skill in knowing how to organically capture attention and go viral, so people actually see your UGC videos that are actually ads, but they don't know it's fucking ads because it's supposed to be subtle. Next is digital product. Digital products, let me just show you. I'll just put like an overlay. Digital products, you also use paid ads. You use AI to make the digital products very easy and simple, like PDFs, like information. You know, you're selling information. So it can be courses, it can be books, it can be ebooks, it can be PDFs, documents, whatever. And then you package it up nicely. You create a website again and you run paid ads. It's that simple. There are many intricacies and nuances on how to optimize these business models. Like how you write, the copywriting, the way you structure your ads, your creatives, the products, like what type of products that you make and what niches you go into. And I'm still figuring that shit out. But I hope that you guys see the point that I am making in that entrepreneurship via online income initiatives is a real thing. Obviously, I have not seen any success. But I hope that it really helps you think outside the box a little bit, at least. This video, like, damn, corporate, okay. Best case scenario, this is the amount that I'm going to make. But if I'm not satisfied with the amount, then I have to think of other things. Other ways to make money. And this is another way. 1 tunnel. 3 tunnels actually. But yeah. If you guys want to see me on this journey, please follow along. And we can do this together. Okay? I don't care if you're a beginner. I am like an intermediary beginner, you know? So yeah. Also, I'm sorry if I sound a bit off because I tried recording this video, but it was too long. And so I've said the things that I just said like a lot of times already. But yeah, I hope you get the gist. If you want to see the exact deep dives on how I actually do it, how I use AI, just let me know, bro. I got you. Also, I'll make a video on how I, like, the foundational knowledge of AI that you should know in order to use AI properly.